Today's objective is ratios. A ratio compares two things, okay? Quantities or amounts. Really it says quantities, but if you just know that it compares two things, you'll know what a ratio is. For example, you have 4 cookies, your friend has 6 cookies. As a ratio, you could write it as a fraction, 4 to 6, with a colon, 4 to 6, or with the word 2, 4 to 6, but notice every time I read it, I said 4 to 6. And because it was both cookies, I didn't have to write the words, okay? But this can also be simplified to 3 to 2. You can reduce ratios just like you can reduce fractions. However, you always have to have 2 numbers. You would never, let's say it was something, well, I'll write this one. Let's say it was 6 dogs to 2 people. You could reduce that to 3 to 1. Okay? You would never say, because it's really 3 dogs to 1 person. You would never just say 3, because the ratio has to compare 2 different quantities. When you're dealing with measurement, it's helpful to use the same measure. So sometimes you need to convert your ratios. For example, if I said 2 feet to 9 inches, you would want to change everything to inches. You always change to the smallest measurement. Otherwise, you'll end up with a decimal. So you know that 12 inches is 1 foot. So 2 feet, 2 times 12, would be 24 inches. So you could rewrite your ratio 24 inches to 9 inches. I'm going to change it to be in fraction form, 24 to 9, and then I'll reduce it. I'll simplify it. Divide each piece by 3, and I'll get 8 to 3. So there it is in simplified form. Let's do one more example. 3 yards to 6 feet. I want to change this all to feet because feet are smaller than yards. You know that 3 feet is 1 yard, so 3 yards, 3 times 3, is 9 feet. Now my ratio is 9 feet to 6 feet. I'll write it as a fraction because it's easier to do it that way. And then I'll simplify it, divide each by 3. I'll get 3 to 2. Here's my simplified form. You can check to see if 2 ratios are equivalent, and you know that means equal, by cross multiplying. For example, are 9 to 36 and 2 to 8 equivalent ratios? Well, write it in the fraction form, simplify if possible, and then cross multiply if necessary. Okay? So I'm going to say, is 9 to 36 equal to 2 to 8? And I put an equal sign with a question mark above it. You'll see that sometimes in books. I'm going to divide 9 and 36 by 9 and get 1 over 4. I'm going to divide 2 and 8 by 2 and get 1 over 4. Are 1 over 4 and 1 over 4 equivalent? You bet. Okay. How about 9 twelfths? I'll just read it as fractions. Is that equal to 16 24ths? Well, let's reduce this piece by dividing both terms by 3 and get 3/4. Let's divide this by dividing both terms by 8 and get 2/3. Well, a lot of you know that 3/4 is not the same as 2/3, but let's say you didn't know that. You could cross multiply, which means multiply the denominator of one number by the numerator of the other. 3 times 3 is 9. And then the other 2 numbers, 4 times 2 is 8. Is 9 equal to 8? Nope. Let's do one more. Is 12 fifteenths the same as 27 36ths? Well, I'm going to simplify again. Divide by 3 and get 4/5. Divide by 9 and get 3/4. What if you don't know that these are different fractions? Cross multiply again. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 3 is 15. Nope, it's not equivalent. And that's it for ratios.